Hey everyone, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. I'm not gonna lie, total upfront honesty here. I'm making this video because everyone seemed to really like the last video. So same topic. The well is endless with screeching. Now, 2016 happened, and comic book pros lost their minds. They flipped out over everything. And personally, like, I'd rather politics not be part of like the general discourse surrounding comic books, especially when you're hearing it from your creators. But it's kind of nice to hear one side or the other side, I guess. So we're gonna do a little bit of I don't know, just looking at it. Maybe you can laugh, maybe you're gonna cringe, maybe we'll cry a little. I don't know, but there's a point to all of this. So we're gonna get into it and look at a whole new round of screeching. You're gonna be hearing this. Get used to it. You're going to be hearing this screeching up until the election and probably well after the election. This is going to, just as things seem to have been calming down, uh, hatred rears its ugly head. So while the hate is going on, backers have been actually coming. I kind of was joking about promoting Fatal with all this nonsense, but it actually worked quite well. So thanks for backing the book. We're at $68,000 now, 307. If you haven't backed it, check it out. This is seriously, I'd put this book up against any book that these SJWs are putting out in the comic book industry. Check it out. It's in the link in the description below. Back it and help us get past 70K. All right, here's the first one. Damian Wassel. He's let's see, publisher at Vault Comics. Okay, he says he publisher of a comic book publisher. He's one of the publishers, or a publisher, the publisher. I don't know how many publishers they have. Said, I didn't know 750 would cover a helicopter ride and a hospital stay. That socialism is bad, you know. And everyone is just like, oh, he had to go to the hospital. And any president would get brought. I don't. They have special. I'm not sure how that all works. They have special hospitals. They got special doctors anyway. It's a little different when you're the president. Okay, so here's another one. Matt Miner, a comic book, New York Times featured comic book writer and editor. This is the same guy that brought you his own complaints on his own Kickstarter campaign, all the nasty stuff, the spoilers cards that he sent to a guy in prison because he's funny like that. Actually, we should check up on his campaign. Let's see how his campaign is doing. Oh, is it not going to let me there? Come on now. All right. So he says, please let your life extinguish and our suffering end. My goodness, he is hoping for death there. Heather Antos tweets are protected, and that's because she actually got a tattoo on her forearm that was supposed to be for the Flash, and it turned out not to be for the Flash. It is Shazam's logo. When that was pointed out to her, she was quite upset, and now she's protected all her tweets. So not even incognito mode is going to help me here. Next one we have Tom Brevoort. This guy is famous for recently. I mean, he works in comics too, but famously goes on these big sad rants on Twitter where he says basically, life is not worth living. This kind of stuff. Anyway, here we go. He says this will keep him going. His hate will keep him going. He says, I hate even having to think about this, but what if this whole thing with the president of the United States being infected is a sham so that he can later show up cured with a new miracle vaccine right before the election? It's a supervillain plot, but in 2020, not impossible. Well, now, this seems out there. It seems crazy, but guess what? If Donald Trump happens to get better, which it sounds like he already is, I'm going to wait a few weeks. But the chances are, the odds are that he'll be fine. Those are statistically the odds. And when he is, this line, I guarantee you, this is not going to be an out there conspiracy theory. This is going to be the mainstream narrative in that it was faked. And just so he could promote some miracle drug, which is funny because he did say like, hey, there's a lot of therapeutics. They have treatments and things that can help. So this, be prepared, buckle up. This, in a couple weeks, this will be what every comic book pro is saying, like it is fact. Let's see. If he did that, then the people that actually believe him would be asking for a vaccine. But since they don't have one, he'd be utterly humiliated. Oh my goodness. No, but you know what? If he says it and his doctors say it, would that mean that his doctors are in on a conspiracy? Is that how it works? That they're lying? Uh, or could it be that this is just a conspiracy theory? No, it would be a placebo vaccine to make him look great until the votes are counted. After that, who cares? You guys, you know he's not personally making a vaccine, right? That's not how it works. The president is not in charge of making a vaccine. He already did. He loosened the restrictions on human testing, human trials, that kind of thing, so they could fast track a vaccine. But that's already been done. Like he can already spike the ball on that one. He did everything a president could have done to make it happen. Now it's up to our beloved private market companies, corporations, pharmaceutical companies to make a vaccine. There are a lot of companies working on it, and whoever does it best is going to be the victor and probably make a whole ton of money off of doing this. So hell capitalism. Let's see. You're thinking he's Lex Luthor or Otis? Tom, don't fall into that nonsense. Oh, he will. He will, and everyone else will too. You will see. Give it 2 weeks max. This could be next week that this is the new narrative. Uh, Speaking of new narratives, Fatal is on Indiegogo right now. Don't forget to back it. I'm going to keep promoting this thing because we have to get it past 70,000 and beyond. So check it out. It's in the link in the description below. Back it. You will not be disappointed. All right, here's another one. If your moral compass absolutely requires you to wish someone well right now, please consider the hand-to-mouth service and custodial workers. All these chuckleheads have negligently exposed to a potentially deadly illness. If you get sick with COVID and anybody else gets exposed to you between the time that you are infected and the time that you are diagnosed and separated, then it is your fault. You should probably go to prison. But then that also begs the question, who gave it to Donald Trump, and should they also be thrown in prison? Should they also die? Because we're not talking about prison here. We're talking about people literally wishing the death sentence upon Trump. Okay, not only that, remember, this tweet is addressed to people that wish him well. So not only Trump, anybody that has come in contact with him before he got sick, but also if you just wish him well, if you just hope that he recovers, you're a bad person. He continues, this is what I can't stop thinking about this week. All the people who got exposed at that event who weren't allowed to wear masks, whom you will never actually hear about. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing that if anyone gets sick, we're all going to hear about it ad nauseum. I'm guessing. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. This is a writer. Okay, writer. My moral compass says an eye for an effing eye. Here's one more response. Thank you. This is what I have been saying. Right. So keep in mind, though, if this is the standard for one person, you've got to have the standard for everybody. If anybody gets sick, or if you get somebody else sick, you are now responsible. Even if you don't know that you have the sickness, you are responsible. Here's Jamal Igle now. Here we go. He says, okay, any sympathy I might have felt for Trump is over. He knew he had COVID the night of the debate and showed up late so that he couldn't be tested. Is that true? Receipts, please. I would like to see receipts. You had sympathy before, just a little. He's still Barron's father. I have sympathy for Barron. LMAO. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. What would happen if someone died? Like who would have to die? Not only that, it is ironic that most of these, it's sad. I don't know if it's irony. It's just sad that all of these say Black Lives Matter in their names. in their profile names, when at the same time they're wishing death upon people. They're wishing that this would be fatal. Speaking of fatal, it's live on Indiegogo right now. Check it out. It's in the link in the description below, and help us reach new heights. If you don't have the book, get it. It's only $25. It's gonna be the best book, best comic that you've gotten. It's not gonna speak down to you. And if you do have the book already, why don't you pick up a t-shirt? That's a great option as well. All right, so moving on here, John Layman. He's a guy that blocked me because I said that's not nice. I think he said something. I'm trying to remember. Gosh, I think it was about Ethan Van Sciver. He said he was like the worst person alive, something like that. And I said, well, that's not nice. So he blocked me, and I was really nice about that, by the way. Anyway, here's John Layman. He says Trump is such a goldarn effing a-hole. Wow, I edited that one quite well. And not only that, but Layman's entire, that's all he talks about. All he talks about. Here's oh god, this is, gosh, John Delarose. He hasn't blocked John Delarose, but he's blocked me. Holy cow. So John Delarose is saying, glad he's doing well and pray for his and the First Lady's health. Same, but in fact, actually the very opposite. So you're wishing he would die. All he talks about is Trump. Trump has doctors, therefore he's evil. That actually has nothing to do with Trump, I think. Everything else, though, light at the end of the tunnel, he's retweeting that, inject some bleach, on and on and on and on and on. And all I can think of is, if you work in the comic book industry and you're going to let one man destroy everything, we have already had people, Aubrey Sitterson for one, say that he regrets getting so political. Why do you think John Layman doesn't get very much work? What's the last thing that he's done? He has fallen off the face of comics in kind of a quiet way. Why do you think that is? You are destroying your own careers, because any normal person sees this and it is ridiculous. And people keep doing it. They're falling into this trap, thinking that they're going to get positive attention and likes. We looked at Heather Antos, I think last week, posting nonsense because she gets likes about it for shaming people. They think that if they shame people, because that equals likes, that equals success ahead of you. It is false. You are playing a silly social game, and it is at the expense of your own career. So I have to think about the words that I just heard. This is Ted Cruz said this earlier.
Donald Trump broke you guys. I mean, you're just, really? Your entire show, your entire network now is just how much you hate Trump.
Boom. Same thing could be said about your Twitter feeds, the comic book industry, all of that. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like videos like this, I'll keep making more. I'm trying, it's not that I want to get political, but it's that you guys, you want to see it. So we're going to watch the industry, the current industry, as they all destroy their own careers. And at the same time, we're going to see successful independent comics rising up like Fatal. Check it out. It's in the link in the description below. I appreciate everyone's support. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.